Giants, Cowboys, Thursday night football. It does not get much better than this. The Giants come into this one as 4.5-point underdogs, and I love that. Keep doubting us. Keep not believing in the New York Football Giants. If you want the Giants to get to 2-2, if you want the New York Giants to beat the Dallas Cowboys, do your part. Hit that thumbs up icon, and let's dive into our preview. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. We're going to go over the Giants' latest injury report. We're going to look at the Cowboys team from 5,000 feet out, and I'm going to give you my 5 biggest keys to victory if the New York Giants want to get to 2-2 on the season. The Giants did not officially practice on Monday. It was a walkthrough, so these designations are predictions and things of that nature. These guys would not have participated at practice on Monday. Adoree Jackson and Andrew Phillips are both dealing with calf injuries. If I had to make an early guess, I would say both of these corners do not play. So you're going to see more of Deonte Banks. You're also going to see some more Cordell Flott. We're going to have to find out who that next guy is. People that were limited at Monday's practice, which again was a walkthrough and a projection. Dexter Lawrence a foot. I'm calling that a rest day. Nick McLeod's still trying to work back from that knee injury. Micah McFadden's dealing with a back injury. And Darius Slayton, he is dealing with a thumb. The Giants will release their official injury report on Wednesday, and that's where we'll find out if players are questionable, doubtful, or out. So make sure you are subscribed so we could drop a video and you be alerted when we do. All righty, let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys and what they have done so far this season. They are 1-2. They've lost, I believe, 2 games in a row now. They lost to the Baltimore Ravens. They lost to the New Orleans Saints. And they got their only win against the Cleveland Browns in Week 1. So both teams squaring off on Thursday night beat the Cleveland Browns. On offense, the Cowboys are still able to score points. They've scored 25.7 points per game this year, 5th best in the NFL. They're always going to stack up the yardage, 360 yards per game, 9th. They have an elite passing game. Dak Prescott is going to throw the ball all over the field, and considering they are now one of the worst rushing attacks in the NFL, they are putting that much more pressure and responsibility on Dak Prescott to move the football, and they have the 8th best third down offense, converting first downs at a 42.5% clip. On defense, though, this is a different Cowboys team than we're used to. This isn't a team that should shut you out and beat you 40-0. This isn't a team that should be able to stuff the run. They've allowed the 30th most points per game, 29.7. They've allowed 372 yards per game through 3 games. Middle of the pack in pass defense and the worst rushing defense in the National Football League. They are allowing 185.7 yards per game on the ground, the worst in the league. The Cowboys will come ready to play on Thursday, though. The Cowboys know their backs are against the wall. The Cowboys know their season is over if they fall to 1-3. They will come ready to play. They will be motivated, but the Giants can win this game. And if the Giants are going to win this game, they need to be better than what they were last week. What we saw in the first half against the Cleveland Browns is what we need for 60 minutes against the Dallas Cowboys. If the Giants can put together 60 minutes of good, complimentary football, you can win this football game. If you don't, it'll be the same result it always is against Dak Prescott. An L for the New York Giants. Who do you got? Who do you got in this NFC East rivalry to get things rolling in Week 3? Are you rolling with Big Blue? Or are you rolling with the frauds with the star on their helmet? Let me know your thoughts. Coming up right now, the Giants will beat the Cowboys because. The Giants will beat the Cowboys because they're going to run the dang ball. Everyone in the chat with me say it. Run the dang ball. Run the dang ball. I just showed you the Cowboys are the worst rush defense in the NFL. Sandra Bullock's calling up Brian Dable. Enough with the trick plays. Run the dang ball. If I don't see Motor Singletary get 20 carries this week, I'm not going to believe in Brian Dable as a play caller because the film and the data says it. Run the dang ball, Brian. Enough with the trick plays. You have 93 yards to the Cleveland Browns on the ground. You gave up 190 yards to the New Orleans Saints on the ground. And the Baltimore Ravens gashed your defense for 60 minutes, 274 yards. And you got a guy in the backfield right now that's playing like a top 5 back in the National Football League. Devin Singletary has made tacklers miss 17 times, second most in the NFL. He's got 165 yards after contact, seventh most in the NFL. He's got 6 runs of more than 10-plus yards. He's got 3 runs of more than 15-plus yards. And he has the number 1 elusive rating in the NFL. He's going to make the first man miss. Just get him the dang ball. And Brian Dable, please, 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 please run the ball outside. Run the ball outside the tackles. Stretch out this defense horizontally because that's what the Saints did with Alvin Kamara, and that's why he had 115-plus rushing yards. That's what the Baltimore Ravens did with Derrick Henry, and that's why Derrick Henry had 151 yards. The weak part of this Cowboys defense is their side-to-side defense. They cannot stop the run when you run it outside. The Cowboys' run defense, worst in the NFL in yards per game. Worst in the NFL in yards per carry. Worst in the NFL in EPA per rush. Worst in the NFL in stuff rate. They're solid at yards before contact, but they're the worst in the NFL in yards after contact. They allow the the most inside runs. They allow the least amount of inside runs and the 4th most outside runs. They have a light box at the 29th highest rate, and they stack the box at the 4th highest rate. So they are stacking the box 31% of the time, and they are still getting gashed. When the Cowboys have a light box, they allow 6.5 yards per carry. When the Cowboys have an even box, they allow 4.2 yards per carry. And when they stack the box, it does not matter. They still allow 5.8 yards per carry. So I'm going to say it again. Run the dang ball. Whether it be DJ, whether it be Motor, whether it be Tracy. Shit, give it to Malik Nabers one time. Run the dang ball. I told you a second ago the Giants have to run the ball outside the tackles. They don't do that. They run it inside at the 4th highest clip at 58.7%, and they run it outside at 37.3%. This is the week we will find out if Brian Dable is a good game planner. Because a good game planner knows to beat the Dallas Cowboys, you run the dang ball, and you run it outside. The Giants want to run in between the tackles. They want to run that duo action. But to beat the Cowboys, you run it outside. So Dable, run the ball outside. If you don't stretch this defense out, I might stroke out on Thursday night. Also, make CeeDee Lamb pout, because that's all he did in Week 3 against the Ravens. Mr. CeeDee Lamb was crying, yelling at Dak, saying, I'm open, give me the ball. This team is about to implode. This team is about to fall apart. CeeDee doesn't want to be there. He didn't go to training camp. He's mad at Dak. He's telling him to SYBAU and all that. And Nick Harris, my good guy, my buddy, tweeted this out, saying CeeDee Lamb's first half red zone fumble loomed large in a 3-point loss. His body language afterward was noticeably poor. He was singing on the sideline, exchanging passionate words with Dak Prescott and Zach Martin. After the game, he was a no-show in the locker room. I need 2 sets of eyes on CeeDee Lamb. Whether it be Nubin, whether it be Pinnock, whether it be Belton, I need those guys watching CeeDee when our man Deonte Banks is in his hip. If you can make CeeDee Lamb a non-factor, this team, the Cowboys, they will implode. They will also quit. They will also give up if you start fast. The Cowboys are front runners. We know that. The Cowboys are all glitz and glamour. And we also know that the Cowboys, if you put them down early, you put them in the dirt, they'll quit. 6 of the last 7 losses for the Dallas Cowboys, they were getting blown out at the half. This doesn't even show the Ravens game where they were losing at the half, and they gave up and they gave you a fake comeback. They were down 35-16 against the Saints. They were down 27-7 against the Packers. 13-7 against the Dolphins. 21-3 against the Bills, and 21-7 against the Niners. Come out fast. Make them feel the pressure. Because this is a must-win game for Dallas. If you come out pedal to the metal, you jump out to a 14-point lead, you jump out to a 13-point lead, a 16-point lead, 17-point lead, shoot, a 21-point lead, we will be celebrating at halftime. Because they will fold over like a lawn chair. They're front runners. They don't battle adversity. It's Mike McCarthy. Team's got no backbone. Put them in the dirt early and you'll be 2-2 heading into week 5. More keys to victory in a second. Really, the only key to victory is get it to number 1. Because number 1, he's going to make plays. And you can get your Malik Nabers jersey today by going to chatsports.com/neighbors. Chatsports.com/neighbors. Get your jersey today, and it'll show up. Let's ride. On defense, outside of make CeeDee Lamb pout, get home with 4. You need Brian Burns, you need Dexter Lawrence, and you need Kayvon Thibodeau to show up. This needs to be the Kayvon Thibodeau game. Because Dak Prescott throughout his career, he's going to beat you if you blitz. We saw him light up the Giants when Wink Martindale was the defensive coordinator. Dak Prescott's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL when blitzed. He's 13 of 29 this year, completing 45% of his passes with 3 touchdowns. He's thrown 3 touchdowns when blitzed. You cannot leave yourself open to being cooked in the backfield when blitzing Dak Prescott, meaning the guy you gave $150 million, the guy you gave $100 million, and the guy you picked number 5 overall. They need to win. You need to get home with 4 because Dak Prescott's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL when blitzed. Threw for 1,400 yards last year when blitzed. Threw 15 touchdowns when blitzed, so just 2 picks. A QBR of 120 and an EP estimated points added per attempt when blitzed, 0.26. 5th best in the NFL. If you have to dial up pressure to get after Dak, he's going to inevitably beat you. But, man, if you get home with 4 and you can make him think post-snap, we might see someone dancing in the end zone on the New York Giants defense. And just frickin' get the ball to Malik Nabers. Because you know what they're saying right now for the Dallas Cowboys? We cannot let Malik Nabers beat us. We cannot let Malik Nabers dictate this game. We cannot let but no one cares. Outcoach them, Brian Dable. Find a way to get one the football. Whether he's running, whether he's passing, whether he's catching. Do what you got to do to get Malik Nabers the football. Because he might just be the best player on the football field on Thursday night. All they got is Trayvon Diggs, and I'm not even sure he can guard Malik Nabers. Kalen Carson, never heard of him. Jordan Lewis, scrub. They have nobody that can guard Malik Nabers. He's a dog. Just get him the ball. Just do what you got to do. He leads the NFL with 6 explosive catches this year. He's been unreal. Find a way to make it easy. First player with 20 receptions and 3 receiving touchdowns in the first 3 games. Youngest player with 2 receiving touchdowns in a single game. He set the Giants record for 23 catches in his first 3 career games. Find a way to get Malik Nabers the ball. And remember when we used to see Zeke do this? Nabers is going to be doing this. He's been doing it all year. It doesn't matter who we're playing. Just get him the ball. F it. Malik's Nabers is open somewhere. Reception second. Targets first. The 5th in yards. 3rd in yak. 1st in touchdowns. 10 of 11 on 3rd and 4th down. 140 yards on 3rd and 4th down. 8 of 11 on 3rd down conversions when targeted. And 3 plays at 20-plus yards. If you feed number 1, you're going to get 6. 8 plus 1, it equals 6 touchdown Giants. Bonus key. And this one falls on number 8. Don't turn the ball over. No sack fumbles. No interceptions. If you lose the turnover battle on Thursday night, you will lose the football game. You're not good enough to lose the turnover battle and beat a team like the Dallas Cowboys. Take care of the football and run the dang ball. And don't let CD beat you. Start fast. Get home with 4. And F it. Malik Nabers is open. What's your number 1 key to beat the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday night? What is the number one key to beat the Cowboys Thursday night? I want to hear from everybody watching today's show. And if you haven't yet, give me a follow on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on IG at @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up over there. And let's go, Big Blue.